Well, behind me is all my gear for a 2-night trip into the backcountry to go hunting, and it is the raw. And I thought I'd do a quick pack dump and show you what I take on these trips, as it might be handy for newer hunters. So hope you find it useful. Let's get into it. I've had to put everything out on the deck here, so I don't have much space, but let's start with what I am wearing. I use the Hunter's Element top. I don't know what it's called. It might be a Vantage or something like that. It's got a bolt-in face mask thing, which is quite useful. And I've just bought some gloves because last raw my hands were absolutely freezing. So it's just Hunter's Element gloves that have fingertips where you can touch your phone and stuff, which will be handy if I'm navigating and things like that. I also bought new pants. I used to do the thermals underneath shorts, but it didn't work that well for me, so I've bought the Hunter's Element pants. Again, I don't know what these things are called, but they look nice. They've got some vents if you get hot. They've got some knee pad things. They've got lots of pockets, so, and they fit well. So that's the pants I'm wearing. Underneath the hoodie, I'll be wearing a merino thermal, just as a base layer, and then that, and then if it gets cold or slightly drizzly, I'll be wearing this. This is a Huntec jacket. It's a slightly thicker, warmer, windproof jacket, and I've treated it with DWR, durable water repellent things, and then it's a little bit waterproof. And I'll be wearing the old, it's a raw, so the old blaze orange cap. And then shoes. I'm trying to go very light. I don't do well with heavy hiking boots, so I've gone with trail running shoes, and these are Solomon trail running shoes that I bought off one of the shops. I can't remember, Kathmandu or one of these, and they were quite comfortable, really light, really strong. The grip's really good, and I find that a lot easier to hike in than hiking boots that are heavy and restrict your feet. And my feet are very wide, so I get a lot of pain in my feet, and this is a wide model as well, which really helps to fit with my feet. And I've got waterproof socks. These waterproof socks from Temu I got for about 40 or 50 bucks, and they seem to work reasonably well. Okay, so that's what I'm going to wear. The only other thing I'll wear is in my day pack is I've got a rain jacket in case it also starts raining, a light rain jacket, a shell jacket, which I can wear as well. Now let's get on to the pack. I have been trying to go light. Now, a lot of people wear the hunting packs and all these things. I'm getting old and I want things as light as possible. This pack weighs a total of 1.2 kilos, and I bought it off Temu. It's a canvas pack. It's about 100 bucks, because I wanted one of these ultralight packs, but they're super expensive. And I found this one on Temu by accident, and it was just over 100 bucks, I think. I'll put a link in the description. I've only used it on one trip so far, but it's held up pretty well onto the Oamaru hut for my son. And it's an aluminium framed pack. It's very light. It's got venting. It's got lots of different pouches and stuff. And it's canvas and roll top. You can fit quite a lot in it. I can't remember. I think it might be 55 or 60 liters, but it fits quite a lot. It's got generous front stretchy pouches, generous side stretchy pouches. You can attach tents and stuff to the bottom. And you've got lots of side pockets, and you've got these front pockets where I put extra day snacks in, which I think are still in there. I didn't even take them out. Yeah, extra day snacks and stuff in, and whatever you want to put in there. Yeah, I just wanted to go lighter. I can't do the heavy stuff anymore. The lighter I can go, the better. So I'll give you my total base weight in the end. My total weight in the end, I think it's, when I last weighed it, it was, when I packed it, was about 13 or 14 kilograms. Which is much lighter than the 18, 20, 25 that I've been doing before. Okay, so in the pack, let's talk about sleeping stuff. I'm probably going to be camping. So if I don't camp and I'm staying in huts, I don't need to take these. So this is my tent. This is an ultralight trekking pole tent, or you can use a carbon pole. I don't really walk with trekking poles. That's, I think, just about 1 kilo, the tent. And then I've got the Ultralight Sea Summit regular insulated foam mat, and I've been sent this little flex tail pump, which is quite cool to pump up the mattress. Also a lamp, it doubles as a lamp for the camp. and I'm going to test that out. It's on 152 grams. I'm going to test that out on this trip. I did a little review on that if you wanted to check it out. And then I've got a light tarp, small tarp, but it's just to have extra cover for rain where I can sit and cook and all that sort of stuff. So that's the tent and sleeping mat. And then my camp clothes. And some people won't bother taking camp clothes. I like to be clean and dry. New Zealand's pretty wet. So in this dry bag is a puffer jacket, a thermal underpants and a thermal top, and a pair of socks and some puffer booties that you can put on your feet, and that will keep you really warm in camp if you had a cold day out. And also my sleeping bag is old and not that warm, so I can sleep in all the puffer stuff and actually be really warm, extra warm in my sleeping bag if it's a really cold night. Sleeping bag is an old Kathmandu down bag, sort of 3-season. I really need to upgrade that. That's put in a bushbuck dry bag, so that doesn't get wet at all. Don't want that to get wet. The tent is actually going on the outside of my bag, so if I think it's going to rain, I'll put a dry bag over that as well. But that thing is reasonably waterproof already. Okay. Key thing, toilet paper, always with me. Random stuff, I've got some hut tickets in case I want to stay in a hut. I've got some toe warmers and hand warmers in case I get really cold. The weather can change in the mountains quite a bit. Then cooking stuff. Jet boil, standard for me. I don't really like using that cup, so I'm taking a plastic cup with coffee, milk powder, gas container. I've got a little bit of spices here. It's like a salt spice barbecue mix in case I shoot something and I want to cook some venison up. So I do have some spices. This is for fire making. These are, what do you call them, cotton buds dropped in Vaseline, and if you need to make a fire, these are great fire starters. And ginger nuts, you need to eat something nice in the camp in the evenings with a cup of coffee. Then, and they'll be gone by the time I walk out. So food is packed in bags, day 1, day 2, day 3. My snacks in there, I've got 4 muesli bars, I've got a whole lot of dried mango and a whole lot of trail mix or scrummy mix. And then this is actually a backcountry meal, and I've taken out of the pack, and this is a tip I got from a hiker. You take it out of the pack, put it in a large Ziploc bag, and write the amount of water on with a Sharpie and what kind of meal it is, and then you can actually rehydrate it in the Ziploc bag, and it takes up a lot less space because you can get all the air out of those, and it's just a lot flatter packing. So I've got a couple of, for the 2 nights, I've got a couple of backcountry meals. I think this is a Thai curry and the other one is a real meals one. That's in there as well. Breakfast, I've got two sachets of the instant oats. And then for lunch, if I eat lunch, I've got an extra packet of noodles, or I might have that as a double dinner. And again, the same dried mango and all that sort of stuff. And I've also got lollies in there, which I'll spread over the days. Just for extra energy. And the last day I'm walking out, so there's only snacks and breakfast in there. So yeah, and then the first day I'm obviously walking in, so there's no breakfast in that one. So yeah, that's food. And coffee is very important for me. You can take tea or whatever, but try and keep it light, ultralight. I can't imagine that all the sleeping and cooking stuff can't be more than, I don't know, 5 kilos and 6 kilos with the bag. And then we go on to the other main thing that I need to carry in the backpack on the walk in is my day pack. So I carry this little super light day pack that I bought off Temu. And that just rolls up to nothing. But I actually pack all my stuff in that and then pack it into the backpack at the bottom, because that's the last thing I'll take up when I get to my camp. So in that I've got my meat bags, which I'll hang my meat up in. I have got my headlamp. It's quite a powerful headlamp, came off Temu again. Knife, this is a HK6 hunting knife from Beavercraft. This is to adjust my bow. If there's any issues with my bow, I can adjust these. This is indispensable. Power bank, phone, charging, all this stuff, cables, but this is mainly for my phone, and if I need to, GoPro batteries and stuff, but this is really for my phone. And then I've got my other water bottle. I didn't show that the water bottle goes, I'll carry that often during the day because I just like, it's easy to scoop up water and drink it. These squeeze ones are quite nice. I take that as well, and I use that. You can squeeze that out in camp and stuff. If you want to make milk, fresh milk with the milk powder, you can have clean water instead of having to boil it and then redo with all the stuff. So anyway, so I do like that as well. I'm still deciding if I'm going to take both or not. Maybe not, to save on a bit of weight. PLB, I always carry one of those. And then I've got a Zoleo, just to keep in touch with the family, and if my plans change or I need to do anything different to my listed plan that I give to my wife and to friends before I go, then I can update those plans with that, or I can call a helicopter or whatever. That's very handy. But I must say, I'm going to change that at some point if I can get my phone working on the new One New Zealand network that does the satellite stuff. I'm probably going to shift over to that. Well, my phone isn't eligible for that at the moment. They're still testing it. First aid kit, some tape. That tape is very handy to fix stuff, to fix your fingers, tape up cuts and stuff. And then those little camo stuff, it's just handy to do stuff with. Very light and doesn't take much. In the first aid kit, there's standard first aid kit stuff and a bit of medicine stuff. And I've got some medicine that I need to take with as well, which is not in here, some personal medicine. There's an extra release for my bow, a backup release. There's something I've lost in the bush before and it messes up your hunt. A light shell jacket. There's this rain jacket. Maps for depending on where I go. I always take a topo map as well, and there's a compass in the first aid kit, which I always carry with me because electronics fail. And I normally navigate with the NZ Topo 50 app. But yeah, I never just rely on electronics. I make sure I always know where I am and can use the compass if I need to get out. I have had that mistake before and got out one night very late because electronics failed me. So make sure you take navigation stuff, you know where you're going. Other people know where you're going. It's exceptionally important. And then my camera stuff, couple of GoPros, head mount, extra batteries. One goes on my bow, the other one goes on this stick or on my head, and then the camera I'm filming with currently that's a tripod for it there, a little micro tripod, and this is a Sony a6700, which I'm also still deciding I'm going to take. It's a lot of extra weight. So that's mainly my gear, and if you were a rifle hunter, you can just have your rifle and your ammo. I, however, am a bow hunter, so I've got my bow. This is a Mancung Thorns with I can never remember the company, Trophy Ridge adjustable sight, a Hamsky primer, whatever, arrow rest, and then I've got these new arrows now to try. Black Eagle Renegade arrows, cost me a fortune, and I've got Grim Reaper Hades Pro fixed blade broadheads on there, and I've sharpened them and they're pretty good. And then I've got cool lighted nocks so that you can find the damn arrows. There's multicolored lighted nocks, because there's nothing like not finding your arrow in the bush. Very frustrating, and then you don't know what's going on. So that's it's 68 pounds at the moment and 28-inch draw length, and I've got a stabilizer and the GoPro goes on there. Then another thing to carry on me, obviously rangefinder. I've just upgraded to a Vortex one. It's Crossfire HD, and that is a major upgrade. My old Temu one was just useless. This is hopefully gonna save me a lot of trouble in the bush. Bino harness, binos in there that I got off a friend, and then in here also my wind checker stuff. So I've got 2 bottles in there, a backup bottle as well. And then I've got the AJ caller. So I'm not a good caller. I've got Sika and Red calls in here, and I'm gonna get the remote for it. There's my release for my bow, and the new toy, which I'm going to use. I mainly got it for recovery of deer, but I'm also going to be trying just to get an advantage and see deer early enough. With a bow, you don't have, you got to see the things first. So this is a Top Don TS004 thermal monocular, 256 by 196 or something resolution, 50 hertz, 12 micron, and less than 40 NTD or whatever. It's $849 from Discount Tools in Wellington. It's basically the best priced budget one I can find, and I'll put some footage on it now of what I just used, but I'll do a full review after this hunting trip. I've just tested it the last couple of days in the garden, and yeah, I'm pretty impressed with it so far for the money. I think it's the best budget one available at the moment, really. The next ones up of the same spec are all the Hick Micro ones, but about $1,000. So yeah, okay, so that is essentially what is going on my 2-day overnight hunting trip. If I'm doing a longer trip, then which I will do in a few weeks time in the Kaimanawas for Sika, the only thing I will change is there will be more food. There'll be a lot more food, and I will probably take some more clothes, probably an extra pair of socks or two, and some extra underwear and stuff, and probably another top or jacket just for it to be a little bit warmer as well. So especially if I'm going higher up in the mountains. I'm by no means an expert hunter, but I hope you found that useful. One of the things I found the hardest when I started hunting is just getting information and understanding stuff, especially stuff specific to New Zealand. So I'm going to be trying to add quite an educational component to my videos. But I do have to say I'm not an expert hunter, but I've done it a little bit. So and I've learned lots of things that I think newer hunters will find quite handy. So hope you found that useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.